Inside this hangar is everything needed to save lives.
There's a couple of ice axes there. We might take ice axes if we're going on steeper snow.
But when it comes to search and rescue, it's crucial to have eyes in the skies that can find people who need help and pull them out of trouble.
It's invaluable. I mean, it saves lives.
It being Snowhawk 1 and Snowhawk 10, Snohomish County's search and rescue helicopters. And it was not too long ago when these helicopters were used to save lives. It was back in late August when it was great hiking weather. Two men decided to go on a week-long hike to a fishing spot near Darrington. They started that trek near the Downey Creek trailhead. After that trip was done, they decided to take what they thought was a shortcut. It became quite the opposite.
There was no trail. It was super rugged terrain, just a lot of trees and vegetation.
After they didn't return when they said they would, the call went out to search for them. One day missing turned into two.
At that point, they'd actually were overdue by about 3 days.
Yada Radenska was out looking for the hikers aboard Snowhawk 10 during the first couple of days. This is her video from a GoPro. Rugged terrain, absolutely. You can see how hard it would be to find anybody in this.
Just because they can see the helicopter doesn't mean we can see them, because we're looking at like a vast amount of terrain, and they're just looking at us.
Joe Carlson helped coordinate teams on the ground.
The remoteness of the terrain was the biggest challenge.
Eventually, the two hikers split up. One stayed behind because it was just getting too hard. The other went to get help. They had run out of food.
The one that did make it out, it took him, it seems like about 5 days to go 6 miles.
It wasn't until 5 days after they were reported missing, 12 days total out in the wilderness, when they were finally spotted by a King County search and rescue crew. This is video from them as Snowhawk 10 hovers above one of the hikers. A rescue tech attaches to a hoist to the ground, and eventually the victim taken up to the helicopter to safety. This is just a snippet of the work of Snohomish Search and Rescue's 300-plus volunteers, ready to go at a moment's notice.
It takes a lot of time, talent, and treasure to belong to Search and Rescue, because you have to buy your own equipment, you know, your own pack, your boots, all that stuff. So yeah, there's investment on the part of the volunteer.
But this is what they choose to do. Many of the volunteers have jobs outside of search and rescue. Some work in tech, others like Joe are retired, and some have first responder experience. But when it comes to search and rescue, it boils down to helping others when they need it most. After all, it's their motto, so that others may live.
I do this because I find it very gratifying to help people, and I don't think that makes me a hero. I mean, I do it because I enjoy it.
I'm just a well-trained volunteer.
And that's the most important thing to know here is that these are all volunteers. They don't get paid for what they do. There's also people out there, there's people out there, rescuing others, but there's also crucial parts of search and rescue. They talked about the food truck people who volunteer as well. They say there's nothing better than a day out searching and then coming back to the food truck, getting a hot meal, getting some coffee. That goes for the victims as well. But if you'd like to submit your story for a Hero Among Us, you can also reach me at brian@q13fox.com. I can't wait to hear your story pitches.
Oh my goodness, and really the work that goes into the training that they do, it's really incredible.
Amazing.
They have a passion for this.
Absolutely, and you have some experience going up Snowhawk 10, right?
I trained with one of the groups out there a couple of years back, and they used me as their pretend victim.
Wow.
And then hoisted me up into the helicopter. But I mean, I was terrified, but they were so focused. They knew exactly what they were doing, so we're very lucky that we have people like that in our community.
Yeah, I couldn't have said it better myself, absolutely.